The NFC North Division has just turned into an all-out war, and the Bears are right in the middle of the most intense battle we've seen in years. After decades of watching our team collapse in critical moments, after suffering with coaches who didn't understand what it means to wear navy blue and orange, we now have Ben Johnson, who finally gets what this city deserves. But that's not all that's got Chi-Town completely buzzing. A veteran player in a position no one saw coming has just completely changed the fate of this season, with information no other team had. And when you thought we were done surprising you, it turns out we have a 6th-round rookie who's blowing away all the ESPN analysts, and might be exactly the missing piece for this offense to explode like we haven't seen since the days of Matt Forte. If you don't subscribe to this channel right now, you're going to miss the most explosive news that will define Chicago's future for the next 5 years. Like if you really love these Bears and stay until the end, because what's coming will completely change your perspective on this season. Unique harmonic introduction. NFC North is an all-out war, and the Bears are ready for the ultimate battle. A veteran changed our destiny with secret information no one had, and a rookie is breaking all the records we thought were impossible. Subscribe now or miss the biggest explosion coming to Chicago in years. Like if you really love these Bears, because this is going to change everything. Stay until the end. I guarantee you'll be completely shocked. Da Bears! I can't believe what's happening in the NFC North right now. After years of watching this team collapse when we needed them most, after suffering with Mitchell Trubisky making pathetic checkdowns on third, and long while watching Mahomes win Super Bowls, after seeing Matt Nagy destroy season after season with his prehistoric offense that even he didn't understand, we finally have something real, something solid, something that smells like playoffs in our hands. The Bears are 2-2 and the NFC North Division is completely open, like we haven't seen since 2018. And I tell you this without a doubt, this is the golden opportunity we've been waiting for since we lost those playoffs humiliatingly against the Eagles. Do you remember when just 3 weeks ago all the analysts from ESPN, Fox Sports, and FL Network were saying Green Bay was going to dominate this division, like in the days of Aaron Rodgers? I tell you this, they are completely crazy and don't understand anything about what's happening in Chicago. Look at these numbers that will literally blow your mind and show that everything has changed in the NFC North. Detroit Lions are 3-1 in first place. But listen carefully, because this is absolutely key to understanding reality. They are 3-1 against teams with a combined record of 4-8, including wins against Arizona, which is a disaster, against Seattle without their offense, and against Cleveland that doesn't even have a quarterback. The Packers, who were supposedly going to be unstoppable, are 2-1 after tying 4-40 with Dallas in a pathetic display of not knowing how to close games. Tying in modern NFL. In my day, in the days of Urlacher and Briggs, that's called not having the guts to win when it matters. The Vikings are 2-2 just like us after losing to Pittsburgh 20-20-1 in London, in a game that shows Kevin O'Connell still doesn't know how to handle the pressure of important games. And here we are, rising like the foam of Lake Michigan with Ben Johnson at the helm and Caleb Williams showing that clutch gene we haven't seen in a Chicago quarterback since Jay Cutler in 2010. And you know what's the most incredible thing about all this? I believe this is exactly the historic moment we've been waiting for. Caleb Williams led this team to an epic fourth quarter comeback against Las Vegas, 20-5-20-4, in a display of leadership and composure that a Matt Eberflus team would never have achieved. A Nagy team would have done 3 consecutive runs with David Montgomery punted, and we would have lost 24-20-2 as always. Ben Johnson said after the game, and I quote, "We're building something special here. I feel the team's energy, the confidence they have in the coaching staff, and I tell you this, with all the conviction in the world, finally we have someone who understands what it means to be Bears, what it means to represent Chicago, what it means to carry the tradition of the monsters of the Midway. Not like those previous coaches who didn't even know how to use Allen Robinson in his prime, nor how to maximize Khalil Mack's generational talent when we had him destroying quarterbacks. Do you really believe that after years of total mediocrity, after watching this team fail over and over in critical moments, with Cody Parkey's missed field goals that cost us playoffs, with absurd coaching decisions that made us the laughingstock of the league, we now finally have the winning mentality that Chicago deserves? I believe so. And if you don't see it, you're completely blind to reality. But here's what really has me more excited than a kid on Christmas. This division is so tight. That literally every game matters triple. Detroit may be 3-1, but we faced them twice this year at Soldier Field where we're a different beast. Green Bay with their pathetic tie against Dallas shows they're no longer the same Packers that dominated us for decades. And Minnesota, please. Kevin O'Connell is still learning to be a head coach while Ben Johnson already showed in Detroit with that same roster what he can do when he has the right tools. And you know why this is completely different from all those other seasons where we had hope early and then everything crumbled like a house of cards. Because this time we have a real quarterback. Not a failed project like Trubisky who couldn't even read basic defenses. Not a washed-up veteran like Andy Dalton who came here to cash a check. But a #1 overall who's already playing with the composure and leadership USC saw in him since freshman year. If that surprises you, wait to hear this. Hear this. But that's nothing. Absolutely nothing compared to what's coming and will completely change the way you see this. Offense. Kyle Monange, the rookie from Rutgers that Ryan Poles selected in the 6th round of the draft. The same one many analysts said was a reach. The same one no one knew outside of New Jersey. Just got the highest PFF grade of the entire offense in Week 4, with an incredible 70.8 while D'Andre Swift, who's our starter and whom we're paying a multi-year contract, only got 62.3. Do you fully realize what this means not only for the depth chart, but for the entire future of this offense and the vision Ryan Poles has for this team? I ask you directly, when was the last time a rookie running back from Chicago showed this level of impact from his first month in the league? I tell you this without a doubt, it hasn't happened since Jordan Howard. In his incredible rookie year of 2016 when he ran for 1,313 yards. And we all know how that situation ended when John Fox didn't know how to maintain that momentum. Monange only had 19 snaps compared to Swift's 45, but in those 19 snaps, he showed something that goes far beyond the basic stats you see on ESPN. 73.3 running the ball against the Las Vegas defense with players like Max Crosby and Chandler Jones, and 76.7 pass blocking, which is absolutely critical in Ben Johnson's system. And you know what that tells me as an analyst who's followed this team for decades. That Ben Johnson has been secretly preparing this kid for something much bigger. And that Ryan Poles found pure gold in the 6th round. Johnson has said from day one of training camp that he completely trusts Monange's preparation and mentality. And after those 4 carries for 18 yards that looked absolutely brutal on the field against a defense that's not exactly a high school team, I firmly believe this rookie is going to have a much more important role very soon, possibly right after the bye week. But do you know why this is absolutely great for Chicago's future? And why Ryan Poles deserves all the credit in the world? Because finally, after years of having a backfield without depth, we have that depth that winning teams always have. Do you remember when we thought we'd never have a deep and versatile backfield like Pittsburgh, with Le'Veon Bell and Dangelo Williams in their prime? Or like the Patriots with their interchangeable running back system that always found production? Well, look at us now. We have Swift as a solid veteran who knows Johnson's system perfectly from his days in Detroit, and Monange as the bright future that can explode at any moment. And when you thought we were done with the good news, it turns out Rome Odunze is also completely on fire with touchdowns in 4 consecutive games, something we haven't seen since the days of Brandon Marshall, and a 65.3 rating that shows this rookie class is going to be historic. This offense is taking shape in a way we haven't seen since 2018 when we had Jordan Howard running for over 1,000 yards and Tarik Cohen as the perfect complement that could do damage from any position. But wait, because there's much more that shows this administration finally understands how to build depth. Joe Thuney with a 66.6 rating and Drew Dalman with 65.4 are giving us that stability on the offensive line that we never had. With Ryan Pace's administration, do you remember the days when our offensive line was a total disaster every Sunday? And Trubisky was running for his life on every play while we screamed from the Soldier Field stands. I believe Ryan Poles finally understood something previous administrations never grasped. You can't build a successful long-term offense without having real depth and true competition at every position. Monange is not just another rookie we picked to fill the roster. He's the future of the running game in Chicago. He's proof that Poles can find talent in any round. And Swift better be ready because real competition has just arrived at Hollis Hall. Do you think Monange should be getting more carries right now against teams like Carolina and Jacksonville? Or is Johnson being completely smart by developing him gradually? So he's ready for the important games in December. I tell you this, Johnson knows exactly what he's doing because he already built the best defense Detroit had seen in decades with this same patient development approach. But here comes the really crazy thing that's going to change everything. And if you thought that was all, you're completely crazy and don't understand the level of preparation Ben Johnson has brought to this organization. Scott Daly, our long snapper that 99% of you didn't even know existed until this moment, just starred in one of the smartest, most prepared, and most professional plays I've seen in my decades following this team since the days of Mike Ditka. Did you have any idea that the exact reason Josh Blackwell was able to block that Las Vegas field goal that literally gave us the victory and kept us alive in this division was due to specific and detailed information Daly gave him about the precise timing of the Raiders' long snapper? I can't believe national media like ESPN, Fox Sports, and NFL Network aren't talking about this 24/7, because this shows the level of professionalism, preparation, and attention to detail Ben Johnson has brought directly from Detroit to this organization. Daly studied so much video of Las Vegas's long snapper, Jacob Obenmoyer, that he was able to give Blackwell the exact timing, specific tells, and the perfect window for the block. Do you realize the level of obsessive detail and preparation that requires in modern NFL? This tells me something fundamental about the culture Ben Johnson is building. He has every player on this roster, from Caleb Williams to third-year special teamers, studying and preparing with a level of intensity we've never seen before in Chicago. When was the last time we saw this level of attention to detail in our organization? I tell you this without a doubt, since the days of Lovie Smith and his legendary coaching staff. We haven't seen this mentality of total preparation where every player understands their role. But do you know why this is so important beyond an individual play that gave us 3 points? Because it shows we finally have a real winning culture where every player, no matter if they're a starter or a special teamer, is completely committed to finding any possible advantage to help the team win. A long snapper obsessively studying video to help the special teams. When did you see that in the pathetic era of Matt Nagy when it seemed like no one knew what they were doing? And that specific play not only gave us the victory against Las Vegas, but demonstrated something much deeper, that this team has the mental preparation, execution under pressure, and collective intelligence to win games in ways losing teams simply can't. A Nagy team would have seen that field goal pass cleanly through the uprights. We would have lost 24-22 in the most frustrating way possible, and we'd be 1-3 talking about another completely lost season. But do you know what's the most important and revealing thing about all this? That we have players in positions no one sees, making differences that can change entire seasons. That's exactly what separates teams that go to playoffs in January from those that go home early watching from their couches. I believe this obsessive mentality of Daly represents exactly what's happening throughout the organization under Ryan Poles and Ben Johnson. Every detail matters, every player has a specific role and understands it, and everyone is completely committed to excellence in a way we haven't seen at Hollis Hall for years. Do you think this is a casual coincidence, or do we finally have true leaders who understand exactly what it takes to win consistently in modern NFL? And here's what excites me most when I think about the future. If a long snapper is doing this level of preparation, what are Caleb Williams, DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, and the rest of the starters doing in their weekly preparations? The level of study and preparation at Hollis Hall must be absolutely insane. Do you remember when we had players showing up on Sundays without having studied the complete game plan? When we had embarrassing situations like Trey Burton not knowing the correct routes in critical playoff moments? Those dark days are completely over in Chicago. Daly not only studied video for hours, but had the confidence, communication, and perfect timing to share that crucial information with Blackwell at the exact moment we needed it most. That's real team chemistry. That's authentic winning culture. That's exactly what we needed in Chicago for decades. And there you have it, Bears fans. An FC North division completely open with a real and tangible playoff opportunity for the first time since 2018. Rookie Kyle Monange blowing away all expectations and proving Ryan Poles really knows how to evaluate talent in any draft round. And Scott Daly proving we finally have the culture, preparation, and mentality to win those close games that mediocre teams always lose. Do you really honestly believe this season is going to be different, or are we going to collapse in November and December like always with this team? Should Kyle Monange be the starter right after the bye week? Or is Ben Johnson being completely smart by developing him gradually for the moments that really matter? And what do you think about having players like Scott Daly who study obsessively and can change the entire fate of a game from positions no one sees coming? Let me know in the comments which of these 3 explosive news has you most excited and exactly why. If you believe we finally have the team, the coaching staff, and the organization to seriously compete in this NFC North division, like this video. If you think Ben Johnson is exactly the coach Chicago needed after years and years of total mediocrity, subscribe to the channel right now, because I guarantee tomorrow we're going to have more explosive news about these Bears. This season is just beginning. We have a bye week to prepare perfectly, and you can't miss what's coming for Chicago in the second half of the season. That could be historic. We're a family here. We're the most authentic voice of Bears fans on all of YouTube. And I need all of you being an active part of this community that bleeds navy blue and orange from the day we were born. This isn't just information. This is pure passion for our team. Subscribe right now, activate that bell so you don't miss a single explosive news. Comment exactly what you think of these news, and share this video with all the Bears fans you know, because this is just the beginning of something truly special in Chicago. Da Bears, bear down Chicago Bears. See you in the next video with more news that will completely blow your mind.